What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. We're going to be doing the install of my Applied Weapon Tech scale and flytantium aluminum ball cage on my Manix 2 lightweight. Let's get into it. Okay, if you watched my assembly, Lord have mercy, if you watched my install of my Manix 2 Lightweight M4, you've already seen this one, but I thought it'd be interesting to take the Salt Series version that I picked up here recently and try to replicate that. And the reason I say that is because I do get a lot of questions around, will that ball cage fit? They say the ball cage won't fit. Let's run through a fresh, brand new install. I'm going to try to do this one quickly. I do have a very beautiful set of Applied Weapon Tech scales right here ready to go. I did opt to pick up their titanium set, and then here is my aluminum ball cage. I did go ahead and get the slotted with the tritium inserts again. So I'm going to go ahead and install that. I only want the ceramic ball here. I do not want the lightweight spring. I like the factory spring. So let's go ahead and get into it. I do recommend WeHa bits. They are linked down in the description below. You will need a nice cleaning cloth. I use Hop's gun oil with a little vial insert applicator that is right here ready to go. So let's go ahead and get it started. We will not be saving any of the hardware. So I'm going to set this all to the side and start saying Now, I did opt for the fold over clip because I don't like the standard clip. The clip that comes with it is steel, but all of the other hardware is titanium. And if I recall correctly, you will not use this part of the kit at all. So let's go ahead and get this off. And I'm setting everything I'm not using to the side over here because, like I said, we are replacing everything. Goodness gracious, that is very well glued in there. I have had some folks say that they did run into an issue where it spun on them. It moved a little, but it's not too heavily thread locked, thank goodness. So we should have no issues getting the rest of this disassembled. Again, you will not need any of this if you bought their hardware kit. If you did, you will need this to transfer over to the new kit. So again, I don't need that. We're going to go ahead and get my T6 here and get these out of here. Maybe not. They're in there pretty good. I think that's actually not going all the way through. Let's see here if that'll kick it out. No, I can't quite get it in there. So let's go ahead and continue with the disassembly here. T8 all the way till you get to the pivot, and then the pivot you'll need a T10. I will cover the size of these screws when we complete the assembly. I'm setting these to the side so I can throw those in the bag when we're done here. My goodness, is it not? There we go. I know I feel it's loose. I think it's catching a little bit on the plastic. Okay, so you will need a T10 for the pivot sticking there. So we'll go ahead and, my goodness. Oh, maybe that side is captive. I don't know. We'll see here. Nope. All right, so this is where you're going to want, like I said, a fresh bit. And then, let me see, do I have my T10 in here? I have a T10 in here. And then I'm going to close the knife. If it is too much of a struggle, something else that you can do is you can heat up the pivot a little bit there. I like these because it allows me to be able to push in, and as you can see there, I can a little bit easier get a grip and break these loose. So this is just a lever bit vault. I'll link that in the description below, but now that it is loose, I can go to my regular bit. I think those are included. I'm pretty sure those are included. So we should be all done. Now it should come apart willingly, I think. Maybe not. There we go. Let's see here. I think the back is going to give me a hard time because that piece is in there. So I'm going to use pry tool and try to jiggle it back and forth till it comes apart. You won't need this unless you're going to save it. At this point, I will remove this. You do not need this. You do need that. Okay, so I'm going to set it to the side. There we go. And then you do want to pay attention to this because they are captive. Lord have mercy. I think because the way they spun, they're stuck, but they are captive. It'll be a little hard to see on camera, but that's the flat spot. So you definitely want to keep track of that. And then you're going to go ahead. You won't need that. There we go. You will need, if you didn't get the ball cage kit, you will need to remove the ball cage and the back spacer. And if you didn't order the ball, you definitely want to make sure you take care of that steel ball that's in there. But you will need this to transfer over, and you will need this standoff here if you're going to transfer that over. I'm not transferring any of that, so I'm going to set it to the side, but I will show you where everything goes with the new stuff. You will not need this. You will not need this. Whoa, it is really on there. You will need the washers unless you ordered new washers. We're going to go ahead and clean all this really quick. Let's see here. That should fit in the pivot. I'm going to hit it from both sides. Make sure that's clean. I'm going to put my own lube on there. Take note, the pivot is captive as well. It has little D shapes on the top there. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that. I'm going to go ahead and hit the threads as well. And let me go ahead and clean the detent ball holes. That's one thing I do like about Spyderco, like Chris Reeves. They go all the way through. So any dirt and debris just goes through to the other side, and it shouldn't clog up the detent. So that is a nice feature about that I do like. And then the last thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and clean and make sure there's no debris or anything on my washers because I want those to be as smooth as possible. Okay, and then actually I'm going to go ahead and clean this. We will be keeping, for me, I will only be keeping the spring. I will not be keeping the plastic, and I will not be keeping the detent ball. I'm actually going to be replacing it with the, I'm sorry, the ball cage ball. I'm going to be replacing it with the ceramic ball here. If you did not order this, you're just going to reinstall everything exactly the same, okay? So I am not keeping the plastic or the steel ball. And that bar that comes in there is to, if you want, break it in if you need to. But this is a lighter weight spring if you feel like that spring is too heavy for you. So I'm just going to keep all that over there. Move that out of the way. I'm going to reinstall. I'm going to put the ball back in place. Let's get the scales and the hardware out real quick. It's weird because the titanium kit came with the fold over, but so did the scales. I don't know if they meant to do that, or maybe they included some for an extra. All right, so, all right, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to figure out where you want. So my show side is over here for these. So I'm going to insert the captive pivot for the front in first. I think it'll look a little cleaner without the screw holes there. All right, so with those to install, what you're going to want to do now is you're going to want to go ahead and insert your stop pin, because that's where your standoffs go. Lord have mercy. English is hard. But to do that, I have learned that you kind of want to slide it in place and then carefully move your ball cage into the new scales very gently. And then once you feel like it's starting to come into place, you're going to want to push the spring back really far, and then it'll drop into place. All right. I'm trying to be careful because I don't want those to come out just yet. But it's going to be a little hard to kind of show you where these are fitting. All right. Give me 1 second. I might have to just pick those back up. Yeah, I'll have to pick those back up. All right. So this is not in all the way. This is what I was trying to tell people. Once you're here, you should be able to put your thumb over the spring so it doesn't fall. And you should have free movement. So you see how I have free movement? So we're good to go there. And then what you want to do is you want to find the small screw if you ordered the kit. If not, you just want to find the small screw from your factory or your small factory screw. And what you want to do here is go ahead and lock the back in. This is what I would do. All right, go ahead and tighten that down. Don't go crazy. Once you feel it stop, you want to stop. All right, so now I need to put these back in. I did that backwards. All right. Okay. Now that those are in place, what you'll want to do is now you're going to get your lube. Go ahead and hit your, if you want, I think some people run these dry. Little lube on the finger, little lube on your phosphor-bond washer on both sides. Drop that into place. And if you didn't know, your captive part of your pivot is going to face up. So go ahead and identify where your D shape is. Mine is currently facing that way because I'm going to turn it over and drop it onto the knife. Dang, I think I messed up. Yep, there we go. All right, so the D shape is in there. This is where you just need to be patient and work in the blade. By pulling back on the cage. All right, so we're going to, at the same time, pull back on the cage until I can get it into place. And then work the blade down. Lost my grip on the cage. Sorry about that. Probably, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's lock this in place. All right. Okay. That one's going to fall on the top. That's okay. All right. Once your pivot's in place, I'm just going to wait till the last minute to put those in. You want to grab, you know what I forgot? I'm putting these in too soon, so I'm going to move those to the side. Hold those to the end. All right, now that you have the pivot in, go ahead and get one of your pivot bolts. I would recommend doing it in advance. Just grab a little bit of thread locker. I thought I dropped it originally, but apparently not. You do not need a lot of thread locker, but you do want to make sure that you let that sit for a little while. So keeping the ball cage in place and the pivot in place. I'm going to go ahead and get that started by hand. Grab my T10, and I'm just going, oh, I don't think I had it started. There we go. I'm just going far enough to get it to kind of hold it in place. I'm not going to over tighten that. You want a little bit of play here. Trying to keep whatever that is. That's probably thread locker. All right, now with it locked in place, carefully pull your ball cage back a little. Is my ball in there? It is. There we go. And then you should be able to drop the blade in like so, and your ball cage should move freely at this point. If you're having difficulty moving your ball cage, this is where I would say stop. Take a little bit of sandpaper, and what you're working is you're working around the ball cage itself where it's coming in contact with the scale, top and bottom only. You just need to make a little bit of room in case the tolerance is off. But this is the second one that I've worked with where I've had zero issues with the fitment on there. So I'm going to just drop a couple of little drops on here, work it in on this side, flip it over. Just do it. That's a big drop, so I'm not going to do as many drops. Same thing here. Going to drop that into place. Whoops. And I'm going to clean my oily fingers so I can get this all into place. Okay. Now, which is what I should have started with, now you want to go ahead and put your last two in. So D shape up on this one. Going to hold that one in place. D shape back on this one. Do I have that upside down? No. D shape back on this one. I just take my finger and kind of put a little pressure, pushing it backwards to get it to drop into place. So those are in place now. I've never needed thread locker on the back. You may want to do a little bit of thread locker on the back. Actually, before I put that away, we definitely want a little bit of thread locker on the pivot. The other pivot screw. I use kind of the edge to push it into the threads and get rid of the excess thread locker. And we'll set that to the side, but it doesn't always work. So sometimes what I do is just kind of lightly push. If you put too much pressure, you're actually pushing it out. But just a little bit to kind of pack it to make it effective. So we'll let that set to the side for a moment because I'm not quite ready for that. Then we'll go ahead and install the scales. This should just drop into place, honestly. You shouldn't really need to do too much. You can see they're kind of sandwiching together. I would recommend you can even just here, while it's loose, just mess with it. And I can feel I already need to loosen these two to kind of get it to work nicely. So let me do this. I'm going to take the small one. I'm going to lightly tighten it, finger tight only. Back that out. We're going to back that out. I just want to make sure nothing's moving. We're going to back this one out. And before we even put the other one in, I'm going to just move it until I feel that it has good play. All right, so it feels like it has good play on it. All right, so what I ended up doing with this one, I ended up loosening everything and putting just the pivot screws in and working it a little bit and putting a little dab of lube on the top and the bottom. So now I'm just going to go through, make sure everything is tight again. That feels good here. Is that the one I just did? That is the one I just did. That one feels good. I'm centered. All right, so that's a little too tight. I think what my problem was, I had tightened these too much. Oh. And I think what was happening is I was actually pinching ball cage a little bit there. All right, I had it right just a second ago. What happened? Too tight. Let me loosen these all the way up. There we go. It was this one. I'm about to scratch up my scales. So this screw is too tight. So I'm going to try to tighten this one all the way down. So it's definitely tight. Now I'm going to try to tighten this pivot down. And this pivot. That one's all the way tight. That one's all the way tight. Still centered. All right. Now, with it locked out, I'm going to try to push up first. Just this scale, pushing it towards the back, and I'm going to try to tighten that up. Okay? No, it moved on me. Yeah, this one here is causing the problem. You see how it moves automatically? So I'm not tightening it enough. So now I'm going to push, and I'm going to tighten it way up. All right, so I gave it a little extra there. Nope, too tight. So it is this one. I'm going to just leave it loose. I'm going to go like that far and back it out slightly and keep an eye on it. If I need to put thread locker on it, I'll put thread locker on it. That feels good. It's not the back. I'm going to go ahead and put my pocket clip in. We're going to just snag this screw like so. Drop the screw in the hole. Drop the pocket clip on the scale. And we're just going to go. Oop. That should be good. And as this wears down and breaks in, I will go ahead and tighten that the rest of the way up. But just so I don't lose it, I'll go ahead and just do a touch of thread locker on this one. I do want to try to go a little bit higher up on the threads. But I did discover this screw, and I would play around with yours. This screw going too tight is what's causing the issue. It's causing it to bind up. And now I gotta find the latency again. I think that's it. Yeah. So it was not this side, it was this one screw causing it to pinch too much on the ball cage. As it breaks in, like I said, I will continue to monitor and check it. A little loose in the pivot. Let me tighten it up just slightly. That feels good. That one's all the way tight, JD. See here. Okay, still. And let's see if I can go any tighter with this one. I'm going to go just a little at a time. All right, that was a little. All right, that feels good. I am centered, locking out solid. Feels good. Going to clean everything off. But that is, and you got it real time. You guys saw, was locking up funny. And how I was able to get that done. So I really do like the way that looked. I think that came out beautiful. So there you go. That is my second Applied Weapon Tech Plus Flytantium ball cage install on the channel. I hope this helps you guys, answers the questions. And you saw how I was able to deal with troubleshooting that a little bit. So I hope that helped you as well. If you have questions, let me know down in the comments. I'll try my best to answer it for you, but I was able to remedy the issue without having to do any sanding on the ball cage. So again, I hope this helps you guys. I'm out of here. I hope you have a fantastic week. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.